Shalom, good afternoon and good morning. I'm very happy to hear you today, to see you today on YouTube, on Discord.
Gente, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. How are you today?
I'm glad to be here. I'm happy, and around here is a little cold today. It's a great day here, and I'm taking a good cup of tea and waiting for the class. So I'm happy. And how are you doing it?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Today there is like a day that bridges between yesterday, which was really springy day and lovable day, and tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna have a heat wave, so it's like a bridging day. So everything is shifting. Also, dust is coming. So it's
Wow.
like, yes, interesting. And I see Felipe. Felipe, good morning. We're very happy that you're here. Hope that Felipe could speak soon.
Good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
just listening for today. Thank you, Eti. Shalom.
Thank you. Shalom, shalom. And good afternoon, Victoria. We're very happy that you're here. Thank you for coming here. Fernanda.
Shalom, Victoria.
Sorry. Fernanda, do you have questions that you'd like to ask or thoughts that you'd like to share or impressions?
First of all, I would like to wish you a Rosh Chodesh Sameach, and because today is starting the new month, I think.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so, Yar, right?
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
Yar.
Yeah.
And I wish you all the blessings for this new month, for this new piece of eternity that we have to live here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading it in the book of Zohar. I put on Discord, on the chat, that the book of Zohar on Parashat Kedoshim starts with quoting one verse from Psalms. That is a verse about that to not be like a horse or a mule, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just shared this on the chat box, but if you wish to speak about this here, it will be nice as well. But I see that we have also, you prepared also other subjects for the class, so it could be along the class or anytime you like it.
Yes, I shall be glad to find the verse if it is possible to wait one moment until I will locate the verse. Do you have it?
Yes, it's Psalms 32, verse 9.
Psalms, 1 second. Psalms 32. Verse 9. I'll try to quick copy it. 1 second and put it. 1 second. It will take one moment until the whiteboard will be open, and it could stream into the whiteboard on YouTube. So please have patience on YouTube, because it will take 2 minutes or so until I could transfer this. And I hope this is verse 9. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
1 second. I hope that also on YouTube I say it again, because it is not very common that we're doing it, but we shall try to do it now. 1 second. Meanwhile, on YouTube you can open Psalms 32 verse 9. Meanwhile, until the system is loading. I'm not sure that I can do it directly here on this. I'll try to work with Opera. I mean, Opera is like reflecting software. I hope it will work. If it will not work, I will have to use the concept. So slowly. I hope it will work. So, and if not, I'll put another copy here and see how it is. It says converting. I'm not sure that it's. Sorry for the technical, because this is like a, in a way, a surprise, and I would like to work with this too. 1 second. This is converting also on the main screen, and if you see the verse, it's supposed to arrive. Maybe it popped on Jonah. I have to see if, yes, it popped on Jonah. I will have to move it. Do you have an access? I mean, on YouTube you can see a reflection. I hope that. 1 second. Do you see a reflection? Yes, I see. Yes. Second. And now I'll move to Opera. Because I work with several, how do you say, screens at the same time, and please have your patience. Please be patient, because it's not reflecting at the moment I'm moving it. So I see here on YouTube it is loading, because I worked on 2 screens. I just describing what I'm doing. You're good, Victoria. You already posted. Very, very good. Very good. And Fernando, you are on the screen. You see the screen?
Yes, yes,
Very
I
good.
can see it. Yes.
So this is the request, not to be like a horse or like a mule which do not understand. And what is the meaning not to be like a horse or like a mule? A horse is an animal that run on 4. This we understand. Yes? Just
Yes.
horse is like a machine. It needs, I don't want to be disrespect to a horse, but a horse needs a rider to direct his running. So the request here is not to be like a horse, because it's like only 4 without the 1, and not to be like a mule. And I would like to explain the word. I hope that YouTube, I don't see YouTube at the moment because I'm working. 1 second, Fernando, okay? I have to
No
move
problem, Etia.
between
I'm sorry,
views.
I didn't.
It is, I'm working
Yes.
with several, it is good to practice, because when you will stream it will be like this too. This is OBS Studio. So it is the same thing. So horse is animal that run on 4, and I will write here horse. Soos, horse. It is running on 4 legs. Don't be like a horse, meaning don't run on 4 without, how do you say, a person who rides the horse, the head. Don't be just the 4 or the development in time. This is the meaning of horse in this verse. But mule has an inner meaning. Pered is mule. Yes. But in Hebrew, what is a mule? Before we discuss what does it mean, how do we arrive? How does nature, or what happens? How mule comes to life? What is a mule?
I don't know if I can explain it in a foreign language for me as well, but yeah. The mule, if I remember well, it's a mix between horse and
And a donkey, yes?
and the donkey. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Exactly.
It is when people, it is when people, when men intervene in nature, and the Bible describes this intervene, how do you say, when men interfere with nature. Men created in a way, an animal that God did not create. And this is a mule. Man mixed horse with a donkey together, and from this marriage came a fruit called mule. This is an animal for work. It has a lot of power to work. But since man created the mule cannot make children. It is just a product of man.
Yes.
Yes, it cannot have children or descendants. This is in English or describing the biological process. But in Hebrew, it is much more interesting. The word pered. I will write it again because it has a deep meaning. Pered. Fernando, when you look at those letters, what comes to your mind?
It looks like Pardes, but without the Samech, without
Very
the Sod.
good. Very good. It is like Pardes, orchard, but without the Samech. The Samech is, in a way, the beginning of the word Sod, which is secret. So now the question is why the Psalms is asking not to be like a horse. We understand not to be just on four without a head. We understand why not to be like a horse. But why does Psalms ask us not to be like mule? What is the double meaning of mule in this context, in the Hebrew context?
I would say that only the manifested, only the pshat, the remits, the drash level, only the levels of the manifested.
Very good.
Right.
Very good. Plus the word pered is separated. Those letters means separation. Lehipared, to separate. Because what unites us all is the secret. What unites all humanity is the secret level. And to be a mule, to be a pered, in a way it means to be in separated worlds, not in the world of unity. Now the question is, how can we see the mule in the worlds which are expressed by the tetragrammaton? We have 4 letters. Yes. So in a way, we could say that pered, mule are here. And the secret, the sword is here in Atzilut. Secret. This is what we do here. We are dealing with the Yod, with Olam Atzilut, which is beyond space and time. All the other worlds, Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya, the doing, is in space and time. In a way, Psalms is asking not to be all the time that we shall behave all the time like out and about, running like horses, or being like, animals who just give its body to work without mind, without the secret. This is the request. Because if we live without a head, like a horse which is running, or like a mule, we are not really living. This is not being, this is becoming. Yes, Fernando?
And the structure of horse is 666, like
Yes.
without Shabbat, right?
Yes, 666. Very good. 666 without. Very good. Without Shabbat. Without the 7 that stabilize and harmonize everything. Yes, this is it. This is the request here. Other questions?
Just thank you for opening and explaining this verse. And I was just to finalize what one question is, because the verse says without bina, right? Without
Yes. Without understanding.
understanding.
Yes.
And I can remember some classes that you mentioned about the quality of bina, that is to stay at home, like to see that everything is perfect, maybe, I don't know, just
Yes.
to
Yes, to understand it means to be, in a way, to be sovereign inside, because in some moments also ourselves we are too much out, and in a way reality crashes into. It describes there like a running of a horse, that is when a horse is already running and he is in the race, it's very, very hard to stop him. Even if we notice that there is something coming, there's a wall or there's a fence or danger, like with a car, it is in a way better to slow down before. And this is the request of the Psalms. Don't be like running outside too much, because when we're running outside it's hard to stop, because a person who lives inside of himself, he understands, so he has like long range of thinking. He's not just acting, he see the system behind things, so he's not rushing. This is the request, to stay inside, not to run and to play with worldliness so much.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. It is very hard. Yes.
Sorry,
no, please do.
I was just mentioning that I see that Rodrigo joined the class.
Oh, good morning, Rodrigo.
Good morning, Auntie. Good morning, Fernando and Felipe. Shalom, everybody on YouTube. It's a gift to be here. It's a blessing and pleasure. Thank you very much, and shalom to everybody.
Shalom. We're very happy. And if you have questions, Rodrigo, please ask.
Okay, thank you. I just try to follow. I noticed that you are talking about the Psalms 32 and verse 9, and I just start to meditate about this and all that you and Fernando talk about. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Victoria and Philip on YouTube, if you have questions, this is the time to ask, or things that you'd like to share before we move to Jonah. Just a little entry for questions. If there aren't any questions, Fernando, if you would like to share something, it's also, you're welcome to share. If there aren't any, we could read the text of Jonah. Who would like to read the English text, please?
I can read it. Yes, it. And thank you once again, Eti, for putting light on this verse.
Most welcome.
So let's dive in. Jonah chapter 4, verse 1.
Yes.
But it displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he was angry. And he prayed unto the Lord, and said, I pray thee, O Lord, was not this my saying, when I was yet in mine own country? Therefore I fled beforehand unto Tarshish, for I knew that thou art a gracious God, and compassionate, long-suffering, and abundant in mercy, and repentest thee of the evil. Therefore now, O Lord, take, I beseech thee, my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live. And the Lord said, Art thou greatly angry? Then Jonah went out of the city and sat on the east side of the city, and there made him a booth, and sat under it in the shadow, till he might see what would become of the city. And the Lord God prepared a gourd, and made it to come up over Jonah, that it might be a shadow over his head, to deliver him from his evil. So Jonah was exceeding glad because of the gourd. But God prepared a worm when the morning rose the next day, and it smote the gourd, that it withered. And it came to pass when the sun arose that God prepared a vehement east wind, and the sun beat upon the head of Jonah, that he fainted, and requested for himself that he might die, and said, It is better for me to die than to live. And God said to Jonah, Art thou greatly angry for the gourd? And he said, I am greatly angry, even unto death. And the Lord said, Thou hast had pity on the gourd, for which thou hast not labored, neither madest it grow, which came up in a night and perished in a night. And should not I have pity on Nineveh, that great city, wherein are more than 60,000 persons that cannot discern between their right hand and their left hand, and also much cattle.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Rodrigo?
for the patience.
I'm very happy that you read very slowly, because we can pay attention to the intention, to the words. It's because it's not just text, it's also the syntax. So when we read slowly, we could also pay attention to the syntax. So thank you very much. And Rodrigo, can you summarize the text, please?
Oh, Eti, it's difficult to me. It's hard to do it. But Jonah was very angry, and then God sent to him a tree that grow up quickly, and Jonah be happy or something like that. And then the Lord sent, how can I say, a gourd? I don't know the.
A worm?
Yes, something like a worm, and then Jonah, he didn't like the worm, and he always say that it's better to me die than live, and that's it. I don't know. Sorry, it's all that I could do.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much, Rodrigo. I would like us to focus on the name of the tree. It's also a plant. The plant in Hebrew, its name is Kikayon. Kikayon. Those who have an access to spoke about Jonah in German or in, you have this, Fernando, in Spanish?
Yes, I have
Yes.
it.
It is beautiful how he described the structure of the Kikayon. Let's look at the structure of Kikayon in Hebrew and see why God, in a way, made this plant grow and protect Jonah, and what does the Kikayon mean in general. What is the structure of Kikayon? Let's see. Kikayon. Second, I'll move to a thick pen because the letters are too thin. Kikayon. 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 The value of Kikayon is 276. 1 second. 276. Have you heard the name Kikayon before?
No.
No.
Me neither, right?
Did you hear the name castor oil? In English, castor oil? The name castor?
Yes, castor, yes.
Castor oil, yes? Castor, you're familiar. So the Hebrew name of the plant is Kikayon. This plant
Okay, now
is,
I got it.
yeah, the plant is growing very rapidly, very fast, and we usually use the term Kikiyoni to speak about organizations or institutions that they grow very fast, but they're not innocent. Kikiyon, Kikiyoni, Kikayon. If you say about about certain organization that is like Kikiyoni, it means he is growing very rapidly, but not for the good. Now let's look at the structure of Kikayon 276. And in Hebrew, the word, hello, we have a friend, Ruben is here. The word for skin in Hebrew, or skin, has the same value, 276. Now, let's try to replace the word Kikayon, or to replace the word tree or Kikayon in the word skin. And if, when we replaced the words skin instead of the tree, now what does the dialogue between God and Jonah mean?
That the Lord God make the skin of Jonah grow rapidly like this. That it is interesting because, if I may, what came to my mind is that when we think about Or, that is the light, Jonah is trying to protect himself from the light, right?
Yes, yes.
And he receives, just like Adam, Or, a garment of skin.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes, continue.
Maybe this is, there are so many layers in this story, because I think that I myself can identify with what happened to Jonah, I think that everybody could identify somehow with this story, because we hear a call, but we're gonna make exactly the opposite, and also we can see that Jonah, in psychological terms, he's like inflated, because he thinks that he should die. It is better to die because of, I don't know, his reputation or something like this. So it is something very, in a state of mind, very inflated, like somebody that have self-importance, too much self-importance. And I don't know, for me it's similar what happened to Adam in the Garden of Eden, when he lost his purity, his his garment of light, and receives a garment of skin.
Yes. It is interesting that you connected Jonah and Adam, because here in the verse, the book of Jonah says that he goes to the east. Yes. And where is it? And verse 5 in Hebrew, Vayetze Yonah min ha'ir. Then Jonah went out of the city and sat on the east side of the city. Kedem, mi kedem, from the east
Just like
side.
Adam.
Just like Adam. And yes, and God is telling him in the east side, and we can read about it in the book of Jonah of Weinreb. And by the way, this is for Victoria, because you read German. It's a beautiful book of Weinreb about Jonah, if you can have access to it. This is what Weinreb says, that Jonah was sitting in the east, and in the east, Kedem, there's a great light. And in this conversation, God explains to Jonah that it is impossible to exist under the light without the protection. And the protection is in the story is the tree, the Kikayon, the plant, the castor. But if we look at the structure of the word Kikayon, which is 276, it's a parable to the skin garment.
Wow.
This is what God is trying to tell Jonah. Yes, Fernando, speak.
It is amazing, because when we read the book of Zohar, I myself and Rodrigo was reading in one conversation that we have about bread, a topic on Luria, Isaac Luria. And Isaac Luria says that was speaking about the mitzvot, the good deeds that we make in this world. And he speaks that, the good deeds that you make here, it's something good, but if you do not read the Torah, in the world to come, when you lose this garment of skin, you won't have food, So my connection here is that Jonah was suffering from the light when he loses the garment of skin, when we think that the Kikayon is his garment of skin, makes me think that if this verse is not talking about the world to come, when we pass it away from this world and we can see face to face our deeds or what we did here.
It is interesting because if I understood you well, you're saying when a person returns to the origin. Yes, this is what you were thinking about.
Yes.
When a person returns to the source of the origin, he can see in a way the skin garment that protected him. Because if I understood you well,
we lose our skin garment when we pass it away.
When people passes, the last breath is leaving the body, the garment. Yes, the breath returns to the origin, and the dressing stays here. yes. In this stamp, we see here like Jonah, which is in a way lifting his right hand and speaking to the sun or to God. It's not clear. When the Kikayon, the castor, the tree is in the color purple, and we can see the leaf. It is very interesting because the leaf of the castor, the Kikayon, the tree, is like in the shape of a human hand, but not of having 5 fingers, but sometimes 8 or 9, so it's in a way bigger. And this is a beautiful conversation. God and Weinreb opens this dialogue in the book of Jonah in German. And God is saying to Jonah, look at the light. You cannot stand the light. No human, no one could exist here on this planet under the sun without a garment. So we human have skin garments. Also the tree, they have the trees, the flowers, they have their own garments, because no one could exist under the light without any protection. But there's something more, deeper and much more interesting in this story, because if we look at the value of 276, I would like to go into this with you. First, we have 276 and as a number, but we also have the word awe. Awe is skin. And the word awe, skin, holds 2 interesting letters, Ain and Resh. What can we create from those 2 letters? Which word in Hebrew?
Are
Yes, Rodrigo?
the evil, the bad.
Yes, Ra. Ra, the bad or the evil. So if we look at this, and this is much more interesting, that the skin garment is what?
Bad.
The skin, yes, is bad.
Bad for the spirit.
Yes, the skin garment is bad. So our skin garment, or our garment of skin, is bad. And this is in a contradiction to the light garment.
There is infinite.
Yes.
Azor and Ein Sof, I think, is the same.
Yes. So the skin garment is a temporal garment, that we could walk in the skin garment as long as we are here. And then the breath goes out and the skin garment stays like a shirt. The breath continues and the dress is staying. But this is a temporary dressing that enables us to walk under the sun. Otherwise, we could not exist. Another aspect of the 276 is we can relate to it like 7 times 26, and this is 182, like the value of Jacob. And his name was changed from Jacob, he shall follow, to Israel. I have a head, I'm connected to the one. Jacob, he shall follow, because Akev is a heel, and Israel is a head. I have a head, meaning one. And this is mean Jacob, it means two. Because if we follow someone, it means there's one and we are following. So 2 to 1. The transformation of the name means something simple. Hills we have two hills, but head we have one. Or when we follow something or someone, Yaakov, it means to follow. We follow another one, so we are two. This is what it means. Also, Ra, as Weinrad explained, this is 270, or 2 and 7. Again, please pay attention to this triangle. Jacob, skin, and bed. Question so far, it's a bit complex, I admit, it's a bit complex.
It's even about the shadow of the Almighty, because it seems that the God had protected Jonah with his shadow, maybe.
Yes. So the question is about the shadow?
Yes.
Yes, let's look into the verse. 1 second. Here. God prepare a shadow. What is the value of shadow? 1 second, there's a pen. What is the value of shadow? Cell.
120.
Yes,
120.
120. The value of shadow, cell. Is 120. What is the meaning of 20? 120. How can the number, the qualitative number, can help him? What is the meaning of a shadow? How we go out?
It is like
yes,
an image of God, right? Like the Tselem Elohim. So what came to me, you put last class you said about the spirit and the Pythagoras triangle
yes,
related that we can relate with the shadow. It is like he gave Jonah the vessel to receive the light.
yes. This is it. We can look at the 120 as 12. Yes, and we can look at it as Pythagoras triangle, like 3, 4, which is 7, and then 5. This is one aspect. Another one is that we look at the 12 in the power of 2, and then we have 144, which is Adam and Emet, human and truth. This is what protects. This is the meaning of shadow. Not just as a shadow of sun umbrella. Let's say there is a very hot day, 40 degrees Celsius. It's really, really hard, and everybody's looking to sit under the shade or the. It's interesting because in Hebrew it's a shadow and shade is the same word. It's the same word, shadow and shade. And we are looking in a very hot day to sit under the tree or to sit under the shade because the sun is too burning. This is the physical shadow or shade, while the mental shade that we are looking for is to be human and to speak the truth. This is what protects us. Do you understand the relation? If life outside are burning, let's say the economy of the world is collapsing, let's say like catastrophic or things are happening, and if a person will go outside, he will burn from the happening. The recommendation is to sit under the shadow or under the shade. Like we have in a way in the physical world, we can see a tree, and under the tree it's more cool, it is more chilling. At the same manner, inside of ourselves, when we withdraw inside of ourselves, there is a shadow or shade. And this shadow, shadow that hides us from the world, is a refuge. In this specific realm, we can act gratuitously, we can be human, we can speak the truth. Because sometimes outside in the world, it is impossible. The reality is consuming, so to speak, the happenings. Is that clear?
Yes, it is a beautiful approach to this verse, to this story of Jonah.
Most welcome. Are there any questions? I see that Ruben is writing something on YouTube. To simplify, castor tree, shadow, garment, ra. Yes, 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 yes. But without the skin garment, none of us could speak to each other. Each and every one of us, in a way, has a body or has a skin garment in order that we could meet each other in space and time. Though in the origin, all of us are one. Hello, Venus. Good morning. Questions about Jonah, or any question that comes to mind?
It's about his angry, about
Yes.
his being angry. You could
Yes.
say something about this.
Yes, let's look into the text. Let's look at the Hebrew word for his anger. Okay, this is, 1 second. I lost the YouTube connection. Victoria, 1 second, because there is no YouTube at the moment. It is good because, Fernando, you can hear all of those words, and one day you it will come to you. Yes, let's look into this. The English says that he is angry, but the Hebrew word says chara, meaning you are burning with anger. Chara. Let's look into the word chara. When a person has a burning anger until smoke comes out of his nose, this is what it means, chara. 1 second, I'll move the text. A second. Chara. Chara, when a person is burning from anger. Chara. 8205. Chara. 213. He is burning with anger. By the way, this is the same root of Haran. Do you remember that Abraham left Haran? he
Yes.
came out from Ur Kasdim, and he moved to Haran, and from Haran to the Promised Land. Again, Luria says that Haran, the meaning of Haran, in English we say Haran with H, but in Hebrew it's Haran, and Luria says this is a place of anger, a place of great anger. So when Abraham left Haran, he did not leave a geographical place, but he left a mental space in himself of being angry with the world.
And it could be related to idolatry, right?
Yes, yes. When a
And this
person,
is why
yes, yes,
I think I saw somewhere in the Zohar that a man in anger is comparable to idolatry. Yeah.
yes. When a
So
person,
this is why, because of Haran.
yes, yeah, when a person is angry, it means he is worshipping anger and not the infinite. Because when a person is angry, when we are angry, the anger is like fire. Esh. Esh comes from yesh, an entity. So when a person is angry, he feels that I am, meaning I am this entity, instead of being, how do you say, to be humble and to feel that we are nothing. So when we are angry, we feel all our body, all our entity, we feel that we exist here. Do you understand? It is the opposite. To be angry is the opposite of being, how do you say, humble. In a way, anger is associated with the self-inflation. It is a quality which is opposite to being humble.
Yes.
Humble
That
spirit.
is just the case here, right? It is
Yes.
just the case.
Yes. Yeah. You speak about Jonah being angry?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. He's like arguing. Being angry is to think that we are entitled for things we just don't understand, that it's in a way childish to be angry because one day we hear another one, who knows, just we are moving here. But when we're angry, we're angry. We cannot deny the anger. It's also sometimes when we're angry, it causes us, and I would like to speak about anger in general. The root of being angry is fire. And sometimes when we are angry, not just for the sake of being angry, we notice a border. Sometimes our being angry at things motivates us to do better, to go for what we wish. So there are many, there are many ways and lenses to look at anger. Because we need sometimes like a plant or like a seed that is being in the ground, and if there's he received enough water and then fire, he will break through the earth and will take his first leaf. So we need this to grow. It, in a way, anger is associated also with growing. It's not one-dimensional, because anger, the root of anger is fire, and to grow we need fire. So it is complex. It has many angles.
There is a word, I don't know, it's also 213, I believe.
Yes.
Avir. like a night.
A beer. A beer.
Yes.
Okay, a beer.
Yeah.
Yes, this
I
is
don't know
true.
if there is any relation with this angry. How could we fit this? I don't
Yes,
know if you,
it's a very good. It's a very good question. In the Middle Ages, we used to have knights, and they fought for virtue. Yes, when a person feels injustice, this is very good a question. When we feel injustice that is happening to so many people, those people took responsibility and they fought for values. But in a way, the anger, it is good to look at anger as how do you say, a tourist guide. Yes, you can. When we see that we are angry, it's good to see why am I angry, what happens that evokes me that hard. But not that the anger shall be our king. Yes, not to worship anger. And sometimes the fact that we are angry at things and we notice and we contemplate about it, it can make us grow, because we don't want to be angry. It's not good. All religions and different philosophy schools, they don't encourage anger.
and with the kolel we get the ruach, right?
Yes. With another one, ruach. 214 is ruach, spirit. Very good. So without the one, this is in a way spirit. Very good. Spirit is ruach. 214. Without the source, without the one, this is what? Anger. You can look at anger or at the night. Sometimes when we see, sometimes in the movie or in the books, when we read books about the Middle Ages, they say enough to abuse women and children and peasants. We shall stand for something. So anger is also a border. Depends of how we look at it. Questions, dear friends?
So beautiful, it's so great class.
Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you, Fernando, for
Oh,
wishing
thank
us
you.
for wishing us a good month of Iyar. Iyar comes from Or, but there's more light in the universe. I mean, in the North Hemisphere, Iyar from Or. And thank you for wishing us a good month, reminding us of a new moon month. And thank you, Rodrigo, Felipe, friends, Ruth, Victoria, Ruben, Venus. And we can meet here tomorrow at the same time.
Yes, great, Yeti. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Fernando, and everybody on YouTube. Was a great session. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, AT and friends, and see you tomorrow. All the best.
Thank you. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom,
Shalom,
shalom.
shalom.